Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The message behind saying the title "The Heavyweight Podcast" is to be able to say that we can weigh in on some heavy shit. You know, what we're talking about is important from every aspect of it. It's a heavy weight. It's not just about physical weight, but the weight of things that can weigh our minds. So I think it's dope that we can have this conversation. What's good? This is episode 98 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly with these three guys. Go ahead and state your name for these beautiful people.
I guess I'm loudmouth hairy fingers.
If it works for you, player, it's your boy Molito.
Hey, and they call me Hunter. I ain't touching that.
Loudmouth hairy fingers. Wow. No words.
Beat off a lot.
How were your weeks?
Shit.
If y'all could see Kevin right now, you will understand how his week was.
It's long.
I thought you fell asleep a couple of times when we were getting ready to do this episode.
Yeah.
He looked like he was out.
I'm just happy you weren't recording that prior to.
I'm mad I didn't catch it.
I should have, because that nigga he was like sleeping. I said, damn.
So how's Long Beach treating you?
I didn't go this week. I'm just wearing this shirt because it's clean.
Are you having a good time with the sketches that you're doing?
Oh, I know where you're going with this. So how was your week? How was your week?
My week was a roller coaster, man. Mentally, I just wasn't feeling anything. I didn't want to work. Didn't want to leave the house. Didn't want to be at work. But, we got through it. And I was blessed today with a change of schedule that I was really looking forward to. Thank God. He's amazing. Other than that, I'm good. I'm good. Hunter?
My week was good. It was good. No complaints, no nothing. I went in, I did it, I came home, and I'm ready to sit down.
You did
and
what?
Do absolutely nothing.
You did what?
Nothing.
I
did.
You said it. What's it? You said you did it.
I did it. My job, motherfucker. That it. I ain't got no other life during the week.
Nick, fly your week, sir. I know this nigga's true.
My week was awesome. I got to take my kids to go see Enter the Spider-Verse.
Talk your
Across
shit.
the Spider-Verse. And it's dope for me because Andreas, I took him when he was 1 to go see the original Enter the Spider-Verse. And now he gets to see the second one, and he's excited to see the third. And then Alaric joined into the tradition, and Ava tags along, but she's not really interested in Spider-Man like that. But I'd still include her. But she's not really interested in it like that. But
And they
it
principles
was
and shit.
better that than Little Mermaid.
No, I wouldn't watch that. I forgot. That's how much shit I've been doing. I forgot that I did that. Like, damn.
Did you like Little Mermaid?
It was fun. Yeah, it's not bad. The little girl can sing.
What about the movie itself? I've heard mixed reviews.
It was Little Mermaid. I mean, it was a Disney flick to me. It's
Black Twitter said it didn't believe in the premise for it being a black girl.
why?
What does that mean?
I don't
The
know.
culture. Trying to be a part of someone else's culture that bad. And shunning your own.
Oh my God.
So
That's what I'm telling you what Black Twitter said. I didn't say it.
Now let me push back on Black Twitter. So you telling me there ain't a whole bunch of niggas walking around with blonde braids?
I mean, there's one that's a billionaire. I mean,
it's literally called acting.
Kanye.
Yeah, blonde
Hair, blue eye. You never seen this motherfucker with his blue eye contacts and his blonde hair?
Oh, I think I tuned that out.
Oh, you should see
He got walking around with trash bags on.
He
Right?
look like an extra in Blade.
Hey, what's up with the super shoulders?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know this nigga is trying his damnedest not to be black. So, I mean, it's not that far-fetched.
Yeah,
I don't think he's trying to be white either, though.
He's trying to be the ultimate white.
He's trying to transcend.
He wants to.
He's trying to be Hitler's definition of the perfect white, blonde hair, blue eyed.
I'm like, he brought back
black.
shoulder pads. And the lady he's dating right now, too?
He was endorsed by Adidas, German owned.
I know somewhere
Woke.
In some archive, there's a picture of Hunter with an 80s suit on with shoulder pads.
Nope. I never had shoulder pads. I was a guy. I never had shoulder pads.
Cardboard.
Oh, you have
What do you mean?
No,
had
guys
shoulder
didn't have
pads.
shoulder pads. It was always the women
And
that
the
had them.
Gumby.
I had a Gumby.
Talking about? He must not remember that era.
MC Hammer pants.
I could find you 90
I
pictures
didn't like
of Bobby
MC
Brown
Hammer
with them
pants.
big
I
ass
tried
shoulder
them,
pads.
and I didn't like them. You remember, I'm short and chubby, so they made me really
Try
look.
to do the hammer dance and pulled his hamstring. New version,
chubby,
new
you wasn't
definition
chubby
of
your whole
hammer.
life.
Yeah, I was.
The hammer dance because he pulled a hammy.
The only time I wasn't chubby is up from birth to 7 years old.
Oh.
Shoulder pads in that video too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Why the hell we talking about MC Hammer pants?
Let's get
Yes, we can. We go on tangents all the time.
They
So
have parachute pants. Shit.
for the first topic
And I
comes in from Mo Lethal, and it is a video. We're gonna listen to the audio real quick. Oh, we're gonna listen to this audio real quick, and we're gonna get your thoughts and takes on this shit. All right.
Responsibility, but no authority. That's what I feel.
Those are some strong words. But Joya,
Yes.
you didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turn?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I was that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother is not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
All right, so just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
It's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
what you're supposed to learn from is history. So you're a very intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know it's the less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. What a chance of me having a successful life.
You're speaking of me.
Excuse me. So you were raised by a single mother.
Yes. And
Is your mother still
struggle.
alive?
I struggle. My mom still.
Did she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggle.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah.
Did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we settle.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
I have great character. I built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice. They can say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing?
But we're not
Being a man.
talking about that. That's not the situation that
What I want
happens.
to
That's not the
I
conversation.
want to date a man less than 5'8", and the man can be 5'4". Do they care about
What does that have to do
exercising all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh, no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something from a man,
Bro,
it's down.
you got a lot on your back.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I
I'm just
want to
being- I'm
be
just saying
clear,
equal
not
rights.
just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high value man.
Definitely not.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character. And you, brother, are coming up to the sum of zero.
Anywho, your thoughts and takes on this, on the audio, but also in your definition, what makes us as men high value. I'm tired of hearing women tell us what we're
That's
high
a
value.
trap.
Go ahead, let's go ahead.
That's a trap.
How's that a trap?
But because you can't define what a high value is, you have to let them say that. The moment he said, I'm a high value, she said, what makes you a high value? He should have turned it around and go, you tell me what makes a high value guy to you.
The whole thing was set up to be.
Because I mean, you trying to define what a high value man is to you compared to what a woman wants is not going to work. He should have flipped that on her because she would have actually had to answer that, and it would have met. It would have.
My thing is they try to make him feel bad for him saying he wouldn't date a single mother.
That was the main goal,
right? And it's like, and what he said is true. It's like men are not given the same grace women are given, and so you're going to tell him that he's not high value or he doesn't meet certain criteria because he has a preference of not dating a single mother, which is his choice. And it's like we always say, that's a double standard. He didn't say anything was wrong with single mothers. He just said that when it comes down to him choosing, he chooses not to date and be with a single mother, and that has nothing to do with his mother. And that's one thing that I think needs to stop. Like this whole every time a man says he stands on this, well, what about your mama? This ain't got shit to do with my mama. Maybe I watched my mama struggle and I saw my mama go through. I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be part of what comes with taking on another person's child. So, and the fact that he has his life together and, he's made good decisions and he's in a situation where he has choices makes him high value because he has choices. He has options. When you have options, you are at a level of where you have sustainability, which means you're high value. Now, women might place more values on other characteristics than other, depending on the characteristic, but it doesn't change the fact that he's still high value. And the fact that he says he has a choice of not dating women, not dating single mothers, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the issue.
We don't discriminate if you don't want to date women either. We don't.
I mean, if you want to date men,
Yeah, I'm saying we don't. Whatever floats your boat, find your lost remote.
Pride Month. Happy Pride Month.
What about you, Kevin? I want to get you to say something because you're about to pass out.
Oh, I don't. This thing, I think it's dumb because it's all designed just to create a rift for no reason. Like, I think that high value shit is like that comes down to the person, the individual preference. Because like, just because you're sitting in a certain position, you can call yourself high value, but somebody might look at you and be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, I felt like I was high value when I didn't have shit. So,
yeah, I think the word high value that phrase is being used wrong.
I think they're using it to create a
talking point.
It's almost a divisive talking point, though, not like anything to come together on. Which is
because I think it's a pick and choose moment. It's definitely a pick and choose of at this particular moment. We're going to act like we don't value a man for this reason, and then if this is a whole different subject matter, they're going to then put value on what he brings to the table as far as that. But in the moment, we're going to act as if because we're trying to talk down and bring up the opposite sex, we're going to say, "Oh, so you don't, you would never date a single mother? Well, what makes you such a great man that you claim that you can't date a single mother?" And it's like, well, now all of a sudden you've pick and choose the battle to now it's suddenly changing into, well, what you have and what possess material, tangible things makes you less. But in most arguments that you see now for women, in order to even consider a man even on her level, he has to have these tangible things. But in a sudden moment, none of it matters because he said he would never date a single mother. So it's like a picking and choosing point.
It's funny how they, the host and the girl, they didn't pay attention to all the facts he spewed about how women have choices and how things are different. And you can tell their reactions to what he said was strictly emotional.
They hyper focused on the single mother thing.
Strictly emotional. Their reaction was strictly emotional. They didn't look at they didn't listen to him and try to think logically about what he is saying. And as adults, as humans, we all have choices. We all have preferences.
Preferences. It's all about preference, and I think that was what. It's funny because it's trying to. The whole purpose, you can tell with these videos, was to expose him. Because even the other video I saw, the same thing. They had a caption or comment in the top, and they were trying to make him seem a certain way, and they only used certain parts of the audio, and it was like, but I agree with him still. But they were trying to make it like, oh, how dare he, right? He doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's like, but a lot of people in the comments still agreed with his sentiment, because what he was saying wasn't false. It was just, when people don't like what you have to say, now they're suddenly trying to pick apart what you say in certain ways to fit their narrative, which is what I was talking about previously last week with the whole, the algorithm fitting your biases. So
it's just like, and like the whole argument of, well, what your mother? Okay, his mother was his mother. His mother was not somebody he was dealing with. His mother was the one that gave birth to him. That has no impact on how he chooses, in what relationships he chooses to dive into.
But even then, her trying to deflect the whole thing where she was like, well, was your mother struggling? Were you struggling? Motherfucker, what do you think? If she's struggling and he's a part of the struggle, you can't then pick and choose when he was not struggling. Like, he's a part of the struggle. If she was struggling, then therefore he would be struggling too.
But I think the big problem, and I think this is just throughout the board, and not just between men and women. Just if you listen to how they responded, it's like, so you think you're better than that? And it's like, he never once said he's better than. Like, I'm not better than. I just choose not to date these women.
And he put himself on a high pedestal and said that I am high value, and he never took away from anyone else.
He raised his That's what he never said he was better than. He never said he looked down on. He just said, I choose not to go that path. And they had an issue with that. He said that path is a red flag, non-negotiable for me, and they had an issue with it. They had an issue with it.
I mean, he went on a show where he probably knew he was getting attacked.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his platform to be on, obviously.
But I don't know how we get straight to that point.
The only way I have issues with a man saying I won't date a single mother is if you have kids already.
That's like walking into
That's asinine.
That's like walking into a courtroom in the South, all white jury. You as a black man hoping for the best verdict ever because you hoped that they would give you a fair shot.
I mean, what you just said, though, Maurice, I get what you're meaning, but I still don't have a problem with that either, though.
I mean, it's still a choice.
Right, there you go.
It's choice. But come on, bro. If you're bringing another person, you gotta have realistic expectations. Like the man said, he's in a position where he doesn't have children. He has more options because of that, and he doesn't have to accept something that he deems to be not of his standard. Just because you don't like his standard. That's basically what he's saying.
And the meme I shared yesterday or the day before is what I require, I can also provide. Yeah. That's simple as that. If he's requiring it of someone else, he can also provide. It's nothing. If he's saying I want this or this and this, you can't sit there and knock him for his preference. It's not like he's a single father with like 6 baby mamas and he's telling her, how dare she have one? Like, no, if he's saying this is what I value, this is what I understand, this is my preference. At the end of the day, give that man his flowers and accept his preferences. We accept yours. So, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that like you said, that the part that irked me was the fact that just because what happened with my mom doesn't mean I have to do it now.
And it got shit to do with you.
You can't apply that same principle nowhere else and make it positive.
All right, let's keep this this choo-choo train running. Next topic. You think as a people or society give more grace to the people making dumbass decisions and a short leash on the people that make a mistake?
Yeah, I was thinking more in like Ja Morant and Kobe Bryant was a thing that came up to me.
Are you talking about
his case? That motherfucker had no grace. People threw that motherfucker straight under the bus with no facts, no nothing. Ja Morant making dumbass decisions. Oh no, he's just young. oh no, he's just doing this. Oh, that's just what this is. And I'm like, how the fuck, like this clean cut, like if you look at it, and that's how we've seen it as like growing up. Like people have siblings that one kid's bad and the other one's doing what they're supposed to. Seems like a lot of the times the one that's the bad one out there, like, well, he's out there, he just hustling, trying to get his thing, he's bringing home the bacon, and then they look at the other one as a square box. You get what I'm saying? Like,
and then once the moment he makes a mistake, it's amplified compared to the one that's always doing dumbass shit.
Yeah, like I can't believe you do something like that. Like that's, and I don't know if that's just an us thing
What's
or
funny?
if it's society.
That's a society.
I thought about when the Kobe Bryant trial came, and I remember it happening, and all I thought was, that's a mistake, but I didn't hold it against him. When I saw that John Morant shit, I said, this dumb nigga's gonna fucking take away his entire fucking thing that he worked towards over something as dumb as a gun.
Hey, but when which Kobe thing are you talking about? Are we talking about the whole white woman thing with the rape?
Yeah, the whole rape thing, not the
I don't know, rape thing. Yeah, we're gonna say rape thing.
Right, but you got to remember that was what it was.
Whoa, no, we know. We're just gonna call it the rape thing.
No, I'm just talking about
any other issues.
The victim of the person too, the color of the victim.
I'm just gonna say it was a rape thing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying that was a lot more amplified just because of that too, though.
I feel like the reason why it was amplified was on the opposite spectrum. It was a person of color being this high value, making this kind of mistake in the public eye. And like Dave Chappelle has pointed out in his stand-up, that motherfucker beat that court on the case, that case on the court. Because if he at any time showed guilt when he played, I guarantee you that the public opinion of him would have been different. But the fact that he came in and he didn't let it faze him when he played made people go, maybe he's not as guilty as we think. And then even when they got the not guilty, those certain people, because I'm trying to be politically correct here. Certain people still try to hold that against him, even when he was found not guilty. They still try to take away his Oscar credits. They try to take, even in his death, people try to aim at him and said, oh, well, and it's like, it's amazing because this man had this higher value he maintained, and for one mistake, people try to never let him forget it through each course of his progression up. Whereas where I look at John Morant, he can keep making these dumbass decisions, but eventually, if he actually gets on the straight and narrow, they're not going to hold that kind of.
They're going to say he matured. Oh,
he matured, yeah. But the thing with Kobe, like he gets an Oscar, and they're going, but remember, he still had that rape. He said, but he was never convicted. But it's a rape. And I remember it was a dumbass comedian that said that did the same thing. Oh, Kobe Bryant died today. Oh, that good thing that rapist died. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, people never let you forget it when you're a person of color and you're that high. Like
the thing about the whole Kobe thing is that when you look at the numbers of how many women lie about rape, and they lie about it, and then the truth comes out years after. Like, and the fact that when you just look at the facts of the Kobe's case, bro, like, we're not going to go into detail on that, but it's clear that he didn't rape her. And then once that came out, it was like Kobe still wasn't given grace because it was still like, well, you still cheated on your wife, so you're still a piece of shit.
And they never let him forget it.
So you're just not as big a piece of shit as we thought you were. So but you're still a piece of shit. But like you said, John Moran's like, oh, he's young, he's immature, he never had. Bro, John grew up in the suburbs. He ain't about that street life. He ain't come on.
Went to it.
What's so cold is, even to a bigger thing, if you think about it, essentially John Morant's. In our society, John Morant is what they expect us as black people to do. So they go, he's just young. He's just this. But like if he matures, oh, look at that black male matured. He got on the straight and narrow.
They shouldn't give that nigga a pass at all.
I think like what he's doing is dumb as shit. I didn't understand, and I'm like, what reason do you have to be doing this?
23 dumb shit.
The Kobe thing was he was making all these right decisions, and that one wrong decision was a major one for everyone. But you got to realize all the other factors that play when Kobe Bryant does it, because now they're looking at him as this is a reason to be able to take him down. Let's knock him down off his pedestal. He thought he was this. He thought he was that. He thought he was this. You're still a piece of shit. Like, but it's like you're trying to knock him down for something because he got so high.
But that's funny because that almost goes back to that same point. Like, maybe that's just what it is people get to a point to where they don't want to feel as if someone's better than them, or if they feel as if someone's at a certain point, they're better than. So maybe it's like the people that they think are on the straight and narrow doing things the right way, they're like, oh, that fool thinks they're better than them. So they might want to see us fail, like see people fail. I shouldn't say that's like I'm fucking doing what I got to do, but it's not.
Let me put it this way. If that was Smush Parker that did what Kobe did, do you think we'd be talking about him?
He couldn't pass and do shit. We wouldn't care.
Yeah,
exactly. But the level at which Kobe reached at that time.
Well, I mean, that's just as that example. I mean, I'm just saying, just as the type of people they were.
Yeah,
or not are, because Kobe always did everything right.
Yeah, and then the one moment he made a mistake, they amplified the fuck out of it. It's the same thing you said about the one brother and the other brother, and it's like if the one's always doing dumbass decisions, it's he's trying to figure himself out. So the motherfucker that's making all the right moves throughout his life, and you're expecting him to be
and get a D,
makes one mistake. Oh my god, look at this piece of shit. You're like, well, go the fuck.
That same thing applies in the workplace too. You got crappy employees who always make mistakes and it gets blown over, but the one good employee makes a mistake and it gets amplified. You know,
we used to call that in the Navy was hookups for fuck ups. People who would always fuck up got the easiest jobs. Like, you know what? Give them that job so they can't fuck this up.
That worked in my favor in package, but it wasn't because I was a fuck up. They just assumed I was.
But like you said, we apply that same thing applies across.
That's society.
Yeah, it was like, oh, sure post for this guy, and everybody was like, oh, he must be a horrible driver. Sure, if you want to.
You know, but that's the way, I mean, like you said, it's a society thing, you know, just like Kevin said. It's a society. We do that as a society.
And the other drivers go, well, why does he get to do that and we don't? And then it's, because now you have the drivers attacking each other as opposed to.
That's why, but you should do the bare minimum work anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
There's a reason why the higher seniority drivers usually talk to the new ones coming in and tell them, once you pass this point, do the bare minimum. But a lot of them don't listen because they're so on the I need to be the best or I need to do this that they ignore it, and then they end up affecting the culture as far as bettering for the whole because they want to be that ace.
That's why our job always like to have younger people working versus older ones.
Yeah, but they like to grab them, put them under the wing young, and be like, "Oh, you're our ace, man. You're the one that gets it done. You're the da-da-da-da-da. You're the one that," and they go, "Oh man, I'm gonna keep aspiring for that." And it's like, but the older driver just told you, "Did you pass probation? Slow the fuck down."
But like I said, what Kevin said, I mean, a lot of what you say too is based off age too, Kevin. Because if a 23-year-old does something, but if the 43-year-old does the exact same thing.
Nah, I've seen some old ass niggas.
Yeah,
I know old fuck up. Exact same scenario and put them across, it wouldn't be looked at as the same. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Because a 23-year-old is allowed to make mistakes. A 43-year-old ain't allowed to make mistakes like that no more.
I don't know. Kobe was in his Kobe was in his 20s when that happened, so it was like 25.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if it was older, it would be looked at different. When Kevin was talking, I'm not talking about the Kobe. I'm talking about in general.
I don't even think that. It just depends.
It's dumb. It's a dumb mistake, right?
Because I feel like if there was a 20-year-old that was a high achiever and there was a 40-year-old that was fucking up all the time, they would still look at the high achiever and go, "Damn, you fucked up," as opposed to the 43-year-old that were used to fucking up. No, but I'm talking about exactly. But I'm taking it. Put it like this: if a 23-year-old went and did something stupid, you would be like, "Oh, he's 23 years old, whatever." But if a 43-year-old went and did the exact same thing, you would say you wouldn't say it was stupid. You would say he's a fuck up. That's what I'm saying.
I think it depends on the people. That's where I came. I was thinking with that because, like, say the 23-year-old is on pace to be the fucking astronaut, and the other 23-year-old is on pace to be a criminal. Same shit, whatever, you know.
No Forza Wendy's.
yes, they're going to hold the one that's going to be the astronaut at a different level, even for something that's smaller. It doesn't necessarily even throw away their career. It's just something that I guess is unexpected, and they get, I feel, held at a higher standard than the people who continually.
So you're saying the projection of the person's life matters?
I don't know. It seems that way, but I don't know, because John Morant's projection is.
But like I said, that's a society thing. We do that across the board. You do that with students in math. You do it across the board and everything. The person who messes up more doesn't get hit as hard with the same thing as a person who doesn't do it as much.
And that's
like you said, it's unexpected. There's an expected and then there's an unexpected. And when somebody does something that's unexpected, it gets amplified.
I'm just confused where the age came into play as far as the 43-year-old to the 23-year-old.
Because, like I said, it doesn't. That right there plays a part. If a 23-year-old went and did something stupid, you would say, "Oh, that was him being stupid," and that was, what it was. But a 43-year-old was supposed to be a lot more smart, or a lot more older, mature, and everything else. And if they did the exact same thing, you would say they were a fuck up.
I can't co-sign that because I had my Uncle Johnny, rest in peace. He was known as the fuck up. Like, he was known as no matter what what age.
I get what you're saying there. I'm not saying a 43-year-old can't be a fuck up.
Oh, I'm talking about just in the age in general. But even like compared to like my dad, who was like 10 years plus or whatever. Even with their comparison in age as they get older, everyone expected Johnny to be this and my dad to be this. And as they got older, it was always going to be my dad was the responsible caretaker, whatever role. And he was that. So yeah, the moment it amplifies, I don't even think the age changes, because even when you compare me to my Uncle Johnny, people will look at me and go, well, yeah, Andy's is expected, because of who my dad was, expected to have a certain responsibility, or I don't know.
You think that's us giving up as a society together? Like, just because I could understand why you would judge or punish or whatever the people trajectories as, damn, that must not be good at all.
Yeah, anyway.
Punish them harder to keep them on pace, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know if it's age. To me, I don't know if it's age-based. I just know it's definitely just the projection of the person to me, and at the end of it, that's what seems to always play a part.
I think it's a set of changing variables. Age can play a part of it. What happened can play a part of it. When it happened, where it happened. I think it all depends.
And what it is too. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It really all depends.
We all commit that 23-year-olds do stupid shit that you would not do at 43 years old, right?
Oh,
I can't say but that's where the whole it depends on the person and the subject. Because I know 43-year-olds that would do what a 23-year-old do without
but I'm
hesitation.
saying that there is a difference there, though.
I don't think I would.
That's making a mistake, though, and a 40.
I would still ask the variables, just like Mo said. I would ask who did it, and if they did it, if they did it, then I wouldn't be like, wow, like that 43-year-old. I'd be like, but then it'd be a different 43-year-old, and I'd be like, oh yeah, he shouldn't be doing that. He knows better.
Put it this way: you're 23 and you go steal something. You do it just because you go steal some clothes or whatever. You do it just to steal, right? At 43, you know that, hey, it's not right to be stealing shit, but hey, I ain't got no money. My kids got to eat. I'm gonna go do what I got to do. I'm gonna go get this bread. I'm gonna go take some grapes, whatever I got at the store. And I'm gonna steal it. Now, is he fucking up? But he's doing the exact same thing to 23-year-old. But it's the purpose behind it. That's what I'm saying. That's why the variables matters.
Then the 45-year-old Tyrone, who's in and out of jail all the time, decides to steal some shit, and you go,
yeah, that's what
nigga's always gonna steal some shit. That's what he does.
That's Tyrone.
I almost feel like it's like the Young Thug and Gunna shit. Like, I know it's street shit, but it's like, yeah, if everything they say about Young Thug is true, like, come on, man.
Yeah,
that motherfucker need to be in jail. Y'all want to sit here and be mad at Gunna for being like, yeah.
Let me say this. Without even knowing nobody, not knowing anything about nobody's past, I can think of one scenario that I can think of that you would think of, and that's what I'm trying to say. If a 23-year-old forged a document to go on a weekend trip, you would be like, that dumb, stupid motherfucker. He, whatever. But if a 43-year-old did that, you'd be like, he should have known better not to do that.
Again, I say personally, it depends on why.
And who? Because I know there's some 23-year-olds I would see.
Yeah. But see, the who don't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. You bring in the who, you want to make it individually. But I'm saying,
I'm saying, because even then,
as a society,
I think it does.
Even then, it's still based on that, because I know 23-year-olds, because when you said it, the automatic thought was most 23-year-olds would know forging the documents it's bad.
Yeah, but they make dumb mistakes.
If you said 16, I would be a different take. But if a 23-year-old, I would definitely think he would know what was good, right and wrong.
Right, but again, they make dumb mistakes.
But that's still a bad dumb mistake.
But they do.
He would know better.
But the intent still matters. It matters. Intent matters. The intention behind the action. Because if they're forging something to try to achieve a better life, then I can see why they would do that. They know, hey, I might have to forge this now, but I'll recoup it in the back, on the backside, whatever. I can see why. That's why I say there's variables to everything. The intent matters. Circumstance matters. You can't just throw circumstance out. That's why this is on an individual basis. You can't throw circumstance out. That's why I said the whole thing about stealing to get food for your family.
The circumstances get vilified for that, though.
The circumstances matter. That's like the dad who killed the guy who molested his daughter. We understand. We get it. We know why you did what you did. Was it wrong? Yes, it was wrong. Do we all agree what you did was wrong? Yes. But also, we understand why you reacted that way. That's why circumstances matter. And I guarantee you, when he gets sentenced and he's going to get a lighter sentence than what a normal killer would get, because they understand their circumstances, and he will.
Depending on where you're at.
Yeah, because there's some people who do some shit where you're like, what the fuck? And they're not great people. They have a track record. And they still get that, like you said, where they're at. It could depend too. Like
the girl I saw in a video where she was like, it was her first offense, and she was only like 21, and she for shoplifting, and they fucking held her without clothes, and they were going to try to keep her and try to give her like the biggest penalty, like 5 years, and the judge heard about it and threw it out of court. Like, no, like you're not about to for a first offense, and you didn't even give her clothes.
Circumstance.
So it's all dependent on where you're at, because she was like, it was her first offense, and you guys are trying to give her the max.
Yeah, maybe some people might need that. Like, I'm sorry.
But then, like I said, when the judge got involved, they didn't. I guarantee you that system, that court system, did not anticipate that judge jump in and say, "No, I'm not about to let this fly. She's got time served, and she's getting the hell out of here." Like,
that's a whole.
You also know our court system sees color too, so you can never deny that part of it.
I think that's a whole different thing.
But that don't always play a factor in the role.
I didn't say it always plays a factor. I didn't say that. Nothing.
It was a white judge. So anyway, moving on.
I'm talking about the judge. I'm talking about the people who wanted to give her 5 years.
DC Young Fly's partner, Miss Jacky, passes away at the age of 32 from I guess a mommy makeover. I guess the bigger question that I had was, cosmetic surgery, is it really worth it when you think of the possible consequences of complication? And there was a doctor that had touched on it and said that BBLs are the most dangerous cosmetic surgery you can get, because when they transfer that fat, it eventually can end up getting that fat into the very integral parts of the veins that lead to your heart, that can block the path to your heart or to your lungs, and it's immediate death. So I know in our society, BBLs are being put up on a high pedestal. You hear about them on the radio all the time. And you think about like the woman, there was a debate on 92.3 last week where the women were like, oh, if you feel like it makes you feel beautiful and secure in your skin, well, go get that mommy makeover, get that BBL. And it's like, but I don't think people really weigh the consequences and the possible complications when they're at play. So it's like, do you really feel that uncomfortable in your own skin to risk death?
I just want to say that. I just want to say that her name was Jacky Oh and her birth name was Jacqueline Smith. I want to give her name.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I thought I said Jacky Oh.
You said DC's baby mother.
No, I said Jacky Oh.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I read the caption.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Either way, rest in peace.
Yeah. I think that I think we talked about this before. I think women, you gotta understand, you gotta learn how to be beautiful in your own skin. You gotta be beautiful in your own skin. Like, so a lot of this surgery, while it can be a tool, it should be a last ditch effort. Like, you have to understand that anytime you go under anesthesia and a knife, you're risking your life. Anytime.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. Like,
you know, I mean, it's a choice, but why? Why?
I mean, you ride a motorcycle, nigga. Like,
why?
Statistics ain't high on that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's a choice. You live with or die with what they are, the consequences of it. So,
I think you got to weigh the consequence.
Yeah, but
like in your situation, like if you have a 1-year-old at home and you're like, well, I don't feel beautiful in my own skin. Do you risk not being in that kid's life for the rest of their life because you wanted to look pretty?
I feel like you do that every day. I feel like you do that every day. Every day. Every decision you make. There's more car accidents than anything on this planet, probably.
Yeah, but the average person in a car is trying to get to work.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's not true. Niggas get in the car and just like,
I was talking about the higher probability of it. Like us, we're not. Well, I can't say it for me specifically. The only reason why I'm usually driving is to either commute to work or run errands. But other than that, I'm not trying to fucking joyride to my death. I'm saying with that, to me, the cosmetic route it's not. Other than making you feel better about yourself in the moment, there's not really this is making sure this
that helps their mental health. And who the fuck are we? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's.
I agree. I agree with you on that point. Like, I get it. And a lot of times, people, if you're doing this so you can feel better about yourself, I'm all for it.
It's tough. Like, that's why it's tough.
It's a risk that you're going to take. I'm all for it. If it's going to make you feel better in your skin, I feel it. But if you're doing this to keep up
competition,
with the Joneses, don't do it, because at that point, surgery is not going to solve the fact of you not loving yourself. No. That's not going to fix that. You're gonna go into surgery. You're gonna come out and you're still gonna have them insecurities, because you still have to. Once you get the BBLs, you still have to maintain them. You still have to work out. You still have to eat right. You still have to you have to do everything, because if you die, it's gonna go right back to the way it was before the surgery. It's going to go back to looking sloppy. So it's like, it's like you said, it is hard. Like, I can see why, if you're doing it for personal reasons and for self-esteem issues, I feel it. But if you're just doing it because
I personally feel like the average American is now resorted to doing the easy shortcut way of doing things as opposed to actually putting in the work. And that's usually what it is. It's not usually the person who's just like I've tried every alternative solution and situation to try to make myself feel better. It's usually the quick turnaround feeling of completion. Like, oh, if I hurry up and do it right now, then like I can feel better about myself instantaneously. And then they were like Mo says, they end up getting it and they realize they have to maintain it. It's not something that just stays.
It's like old boy said. He said there's a reason why there's no traffic on the extra mile. Because most people ain't going there. And so if you take the effort and you take the time, you take the long route to eat right, see a therapist, get your brain right, get your mental right, work out. That's the long route, but you can achieve the same goals you can achieve by going on a knife.
Because people don't realize the complications on top of that like when people get gastric bypass and stuff like that, a lot of times they have to change their diets in order to even stay on it. So like a lot of people end up on liquid diets and stuff like that, and they're like, a lot of people don't want to subscribe to that. They're like, what the fuck? I just wanted to lose the weight. And they don't realize there's a lot of complications that can come along with that they don't want to do either. Like like a lot of the women that have to get those surgeries, they tell them they have to stick to a diet for a certain amount of time before they even take them on as a a patient. So a lot of them don't want to do that. So like in a lot of situations, not in all, I see a lot of it having to do with getting a quick satisfaction as opposed to realizing that there's a longer validation than actually putting in the work, because you'll realize what it took to get there.
I guess I don't know. I don't agree with y'all, but I just feel like, what if you do all that and you choose to go that route anyway?
If you feel like in the long run you're actually going to hold up to it and hold yourself accountable for it, then go all for it. But what I'm saying is a lot of people sign up for the quick fix for a lot of things.
The ignorance part, and I think that has to do more with people just need to research every goddamn thing, and that's
people won't.
That's the problem. Nobody researches shit.
But to be fair, I have seen people go under the knife and then maintain it.
Yeah, there's like I said, it's
a
not
lot of them lie, like they worked out to get it.
That's true.
But I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen people use that as a jump start. I've seen it, and it's just like I said, man. If you're doing it for the right reasons, I'll support you. But
yeah, because I do agree with you.
If you're doing it to keep up with society standards, if you're doing it to keep a man or keep a woman, then it's doomed to start with.
But like, listen to the radio. This is where my opinion comes from. Listen how the radio makes it sound like it's so easy and everyone should do it. Like it literally is a regular ad on the radio.
Oh, is there? I don't listen.
That shit's wild. They make it sound like it's like going to.
I heard like the commercials.
Hey, I heard somewhere you can go down to TJ and get a whole mommy makeover for $5,000.
But that's the problem. Like, but
tummy tug, BBL, breast off.
I'm not going there. Do the research on Mexico. Like, what's cracking down there?
Or you can pay $9 and get it done in Miami. You know. You know. Go get me some calf implants.
They make it sound so like nonchalant now, but they don't realize that it's actually it's very dangerous. And BBL is the most dangerous of them because of what they have to do. That the transfer of fat to certain places actually can cause big complications.
And people, there is somebody for everybody. You know, there is people. I watch 600-Pound Life all the time. All these motherfuckers got somebody. There is somebody.
I believe that for every woman, there's a man that's into it.
Somebody for everybody.
I do believe that for every woman, there's a man that's into it. Big woman.
Only reason why I work out now so I can pick my wife up. I'm trying to do some freaky shit.
So
about being strong.
You got another topic?
Next topic. Have you faced criticism of your color of your spouse?
No.
Say that. How did I know you're going to say that?
I wish.
I haven't.
I know it sounds weird.
You ain't never had a black person go, "Why you with that white woman?"
No. I'm pretty sure Molito has not asked that question.
I would love that.
No.
That'd be a good question. That'd be nice.
I guess it's for the three of us because I don't think.
Well, I mean, it can still be said. I mean, criticism, just anything, you can take it in the way you want it.
I was saying because it was a specific color of spouse, so I was saying because he's same.
You can't act like that can't be spoken on. Like people can say what they say.
Right.
Yeah.
I generally don't hang around people that are going to say some wild shit to me, like, what you with that white woman for? Nigga, why we still in the same area?
See, now you're going to trick. Now every time I see you, I'm like, wait, with the white woman.
But there are people that feel that, I guess you shouldn't, what do they call it, mixed races?
There's a lot of people that feel that way. That, you know, we should be. And a lot of that is because, you know, statistics show that black women are the most unmarried population.
Okay.
That's how they, you know.
Is that what that's the guilt stat they throw at you?
Yeah, that's what they throw.
That's niggas
It
weird
don't
because
affect me. Like, I'm married to a black woman, so it don't affect me.
ain't a person in this fucking in this country that's all one race.
I just like that they throw that stat at you.
No, they're not. They're not. But I guess
so. When people, the whole mixing of thing is like we've already been mixed. We're just not as diluted.
Yeah, we all gonna be beige one day.
Exactly.
I'm not. No.
Well, by the time that happens, you're gonna be gone.
No, sir. You're
gonna be gone,
sir. But to answer the question, Hunter, no, I have not. I've never been.
That'll be a swirl.
Well, I mean, you can still face. I have, yeah, and my wife has too over me too.
Like what?
I remember you saying you look Puerto Rican, so why would they be confused?
Hold up, to backtrack. Why wouldn't you be, Mo?
What? Why wouldn't I be what?
You can still face criticism from white people saying the same thing.
You wouldn't be the swirl, but you're already a swirl.
No, I'm not. I'm black.
Have you done 23andMe?
I'm not doing
that. I guarantee you there's some Irish something or a Scandinavian something.
White man,
because of where how we got here.
I will not substitute myself to the white man's test.
They got one for black people that's like $500.
I am 102% Negro with a 2% chance margin of error.
Oh, Negro?
And 100% of naive, if you believe that.
You know what the American Negro is?
Negro.
It's all of it. The Rainbow Coalition.
Yes. Because when you think of the alternatives that got here to the raping of ancestors to
Ellis.
I understand. I understand from the history and the culture of how we brought here. I understand that at some point down the line, many generations ago, there's a very, 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 very possible that I had a couple of white grandfathers.
There's no possible. Like, it's a guarantee.
Positive.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Like
to answer you, I have not. I apologize.
Has your wife ever said anything?
I never asked her. I mean, I don't know. She ain't never told me nothing like that.
No.
I mean,
they just walk up to a man and do this. Tell me when to stop.
No.
I see why.
Having mixed kids, you can face criticism because of you and your spouse being different colors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's one thing I like about the generation coming up now. The Zers, they're a lot. They're not with that bullshit as much.
Honestly,
them niggas gonna quit jobs quick.
I think the people who put a lot of stock in who you with are just bitter people. That's
you think so?
Yeah, I just think they're bitter.
So I'm gonna start naming names like Dr. Umar and them niggas like that.
He's just bitter. He's just bitter. He's just bitter. He's just better people. Like, granted, I understand the terminology because Umar always uses an example of how Jewish people only marry Jewish people. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And with every other race mixes. Every other race to some degree. So I don't want to hear that shit.
Every single race. Shit.
You love what you love. You like what you like. Put your dick where it's welcome.
I rebel on purpose.
Do I?
That sounds like you out here on some petty shit. I'm not picking you. Come here.
No, I just do what the fuck I want, and
that's not, to me. That's not rebellion. You go where you want to be.
Well, I just know there might be a little added extra for me just because people go, you're not supposed to. Well, that's why I'm going to.
I'm not supposed to do what? Be happy?
People love to add their 2 cents. So like I just
if you're not paying my bills or fucking me, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm just saying, people.
I'm just laughing. I was like, government's fucking me every day. I guess they can say what they want.
To make a point, people do like sticking their nose where they have no bearing.
True. This is true.
Does that have nothing to do with you?
Because I've had the when you're younger, your mom, I would like you to be with a black woman, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah,
if you say so.
Look, I've said it before. I said it before. Growing up, I always said I would marry a Hispanic woman. I just happened to come across a black woman I loved. It's you love who you love. This wasn't what I said. Who I thought I'd marry when I was in middle school or whatever. I thought it was a girlfriend for the time or whatever. Like, but it is what it is. You love who you love. Now, older Maurice thinks differently. I think I could probably only marry a black woman, but that don't mean I won't sleep with other women.
Actually, I'm curious to what they said to you.
What's that,
Hunter?
I've heard that pretty much throughout my whole life.
Like what,
in different ways.
Because
you got to remember, I'm older.
Tell him about the culture shock. Remember, he came from where he only saw black people because he wasn't allowed to leave the town to California, where he saw everybody and he went crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard all kind of things. Why you with a white woman, and you don't need to be dating white women. And
at home.
What do you mean at home?
Was it like at home or like where did you hear this?
Meaning like was it
like your mom? Like he said like what?
I don't remember. Well, family always leans. Well, I can actually say that with family too. Yeah, the older family, yes. You got to remember the older generation, that generation before me, they were very pro not mixing races. So I've heard a lot over the years, and even vice versa. Even my wife has heard people criticize the fact that they find out when she's married to a black person.
See, my brother, my older brother, he's my dad, because my older brother, he's half black, half white. My two oldest siblings, because their mom was white, and then my oldest brother. All of his women has been Hispanic. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you like what you like. It don't fucking matter. Who cares? Why does it matter?
What you like.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I'm saying you hear things in our world, in your daily moves. You hear things.
Fuck about what
I get that part. But I'm saying that's just... you hear it.
It's like what McFly posted yesterday before. I'm living rent free. Because I ain't thinking about your ass. Because I'm living rent free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the space. Because I don't give a fuck about you.
But
you don't care, but yeah, it happens.
With that being said, this has been episode 98 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly again with these three guys.
The hair's gone, so I'm Kevin Wendell.
Long Beach Griffey.
Or Long Beach. I can't say that.
It's your boy Molito.
And they call me Hunter.
Till next time. Peace out.
Peace.
It's a wrap. That's all she wrote, folks. Thanks for tuning in once again. You can check us out on all streaming platforms. Click like, subscribe, leave some comments. You know what I'm saying? Is it Monday yet? Hello. Every Monday you got new episodes, so tune in. Have a blessed one.